In this workout, I'm going to be working around some golfer's elbow, some medial epicondylitis. I'm going to show you how you can keep doing pull-ups and bicep curls without making your golfer's elbow worse. And also, this workout is really designed to fix golfer's elbow, because what we need to be doing is still training the muscles that are used for pulling in the shoulders, the elbows and wrists, but without making the golfer's elbow worse. And golfer's elbow or medial epicondylitis is really inflammation of the wrist flexor tendons that connect onto the medial epicondyle. So when you do supinated grip curls or supinated grip pull-ups, or aka chin-ups, that's really going to flare it up. So what I'm going to be doing is using a neutral grip. Now I've already done my warm-up, so I'm just going to go straight into my first set. And I'm using these Swissies here so I can do a neutral grip. And I'm going to be really focusing on pulling with my shoulders. So I'm activating, I'm really bringing my lats and scapular stabilizers into each rep. All right, so just by going to a neutral grip, you can deload those tendons a lot. Oops, I've got to put my timer on. So I'm going to be pairing this with a shoulder press as well. It's got nothing to do with golfer's elbow, but I always want to pair a pulling movement with a pushing movement. It's just more efficient and it creates structural balance in the joints. So I've got 90 seconds rest now, or 2 minutes rest, 90 seconds left, and then I'll do my shoulder press. So I'm recovering from surgery right now, so this is going to be, for me, this is a really light workout. I'm only going to do probably 2 or 3 sets, but I thought I'll do this video and I'll share with you guys a way that you can still work around golfer's elbow, because a lot of people, when they get golfer's elbow, they just don't understand how they can work around it. Now, if you can't do pull-ups like what I'm doing, you just need to do a pulling movement in a neutral grip, like a ring row, for example, or a bent over dumbbell row with a neutral grip, something that isn't too intense for you. So for me, a neutral grip pull-up is a doable movement. It's not too intense for me, so I can handle it while I've still got golfer's elbow. And it means that I'm still training my biceps, I'm still training my lats and, all my pulling muscles, but I'm not, overloading the golfer's elbow. I'm not overloading those tendons. Whew. Haven't been doing much lately, so I'm not in my best shape at the moment because I had surgery last week, so I've just been in recovery. This will be my first anything that really resembles an actual workout. I've just been doing really basic stuff, so today I'm getting back into it a bit. Alright, so now I'm just going to do a neutral grip shoulder press. Oops, I better turn that timer off. So I'm not focusing on the eccentric phase of the pull-up, so I'm just going up and going back down, because the eccentric loading causes the most damage to the muscle fibers and the tendons. So when I'm doing my pull-up, if I do a controlled eccentric phase, which is really good for building muscle, but it's a little bit too much load for my golfer's elbow at the moment. And mine isn't that bad at all. I've gone through the majority of the rehab for it, but it's still there, it's still in the background, so I'm still just having to tailor my workouts in a way that I can still train, but it's not making the issue worse. And I think that's what it's all about when you've got something like golfer's elbow. It's how can you keep training, how can you keep working towards your goals without having to stop completely. And tendon issues, tendinopathy, they're a real pain in the bum. They really hang around for a while. They're very hard to fix, hard to deal with. So I've dealt with this one before. So I had golfer's elbow many years ago that I fixed. So I know how to deal with it, and hopefully this video can help you guys. And you can really use this like a follow along workout. So again, if you can't do pull-ups, it doesn't matter. My preferred option if you can't do pull-ups is a ring row, because a ring row is a movement that is quite close to a pull-up. It's still a closed kinetic chain movement, and it's still using the same muscles. And that is something that anybody can do. Absolute beginners can do ring rows. So that would be my suggestion if you can't do pull-ups. But if you can do pull-ups, just pay attention to the way that you're initiating with your lats. You really want to bring your lats into the movement, so you're not relying too much on the arms. Oh, a real headache today, coming off these pain meds after I had surgery last week. Whew. It's not a fun thing being on pain medication, is it? Not something I do very often. So what I'll do another 2 sets of this, and then I'm going to do a little bit of bicep and tricep work. And with the bicep curls, it's the same thing. Using a neutral grip is going to really deload those wrist flexors, brings the brachioradialis into the movement a bit more, and allows you to still keep training the biceps, keep training that pull movement pattern, but without aggravating the golfer's elbow too much. And then I'll do just a little bit of wrist flexion at the end. But I'll talk you through some specifics of, there's a specific way I do the wrist flexion to get the most out of it, to really strengthen those wrist flexors and get rid of the golfer's elbow. And that's, like in a nutshell, that's how you deal with golfer's elbow. You want to still keep, because rest doesn't fix golfer's elbow. Rest, in fact, makes you weaker. And golfer's elbow is an inflammation. It's your body wasn't strong enough for whatever it is that you were doing. So resting doesn't fix it. Resting can reduce the inflammation, and sometimes you need to reduce load. So sometimes you need to do less to fix your golfer's elbow, but resting completely isn't a good idea. All right, here we go. Yeah, if you've ever had golfer's elbow before, you know what I'm talking about. It's one of those things that can really stop you in your tracks and halt your training, prevent you from being able to, work out the way that you want to. So it's something that has to be dealt with. First time I got golfer's elbow, I think I've had it 3 times now. And the first time I got it, I didn't know anything about it. And I just pushed through it. That was about 10 years ago. My attitude back then was, no pain, no gain. So I just kept going. And it got so bad that I just couldn't do anything that involved even the slightest pull. So if I tried to hang from a pull-up bar and go like that, it was just agony. Same with bicep curls, anything like that. And this time when I got it, I knew exactly what to do. So I reduced the load, I changed the grip on some movements that I was doing. I actually stopped doing pull-ups. So when I first got it, I stopped doing pull-ups for 1 or 2 program phases, and I did ring rows. And then when I reintroduced pull-ups, I was doing neutral grip like what I'm doing now, and just changed a few things to be able to still keep working, still keep training, still keep getting stronger, building muscle, but not, inflaming those tendons anymore and giving them the space that they needed to recover. There's a big bumblebee flying around out here, so I'm going to shut the door to my office so he doesn't go in there. Okay. All right. Okay, that's my pull-ups done. So I'm only doing 3 sets today, mostly because of my recovery, but doing less sets is a good way to still maintain strength. Be able to train through the golfer's elbow, but reduce the load so that your body has the opportunity to repair and recover. All right, and these things are really cool, these little Swissies, to be able to do neutral grip wherever you like to do your pull-ups. Okay. I don't really mind if I don't rest the whole 2 minutes before this last set of shoulder press. All right, so now I'm just onto some neutral grip curls, and I'm doing a sub-maximal load here. My biceps aren't as strong as my triceps, so I'm actually pretty much just going to superset my bicep into my tricep, only to save time. I'm not doing it for any other reason than that, but just to keep my workout time down a bit. And I'm not going to really push myself close to failure here, because I just want to stimulate growth in the bicep, but without making this golfer's elbow issue any worse. All right. So yeah, just changing from a supinated grip to a neutral grip is enough to really deload those wrist flexor tendons. So that, for really mild cases of golfer's elbow, that can be enough to fix it. And it's always good to add a little bit of wrist flexion as well and wrist extension, but we'll do that in a minute. Now, of course, this is a workout that would suit somebody that's already strong and that only has a minor case of golfer's elbow, or they just can't seem to shake it when they're getting back to training. If you're not as strong as I am and you can't do pull-ups, or if you're in the really bad stages of golfer's elbow where it's really painful, then you would need a customized program. So if that's you and you need something more specific to your needs, go to unitygym.com and you can join the UMS, and I'll write you a program and we'll fix it. But yeah, if it's if it's not that complicated what's going on for you and you can do this kind of a workout, then this will really help. Alright, so that's all I'm going to do for this workout of the biceps and triceps, and now I'll just do a little bit of wrist flexion, and I'll only do one set today. Normally I'd do 3 sets of this, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the dumbbells right at the end of my fingers like that, so that it's really you know, working these wrist flexors, and the finger flexors aren't doing too much to help. Alright. Oh, and that's it. Believe it or not, that's the toughest workout I've done all week since I've been recovering. Thanks for joining me. Hope you got something out of this. If you've actually got golfer's elbow, this can be really useful for you. If you've got any questions, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next workout.